Folks, I want to talk to you today about sales. Um, now, going into the field of sales has its challenges for anyone, but for an introvert, the challenges were unsurmountable. It was. I'll just tell you a couple of stories. One, and tell me if you relate to this. Please let me know if I can't be the only one who went through this. You don't have to be an introvert to have went through this in the early 90's trying to find a job when you had to look through the newspaper to find a position. The newspapers uh, lied about, you know, or they misconstrued a lot of their positions. You would sign up. You're young. You're bushy eyed. You're bright eyed and bushy tailed, and you're trying to find a job. You already don't realize what an introvert is. You don't know you're an introvert. All you know is you're terrified because you have to go to. Um, you see a job in the paper. You look it up. You call it, and you go to the job. And I'm from the inner city. I'm from Philadelphia, so you had to go very far. You had to get on public transportation, go far, and wind up in a place. One particular job that I signed up for, I looked in the paper. The paper said, "Come on in. We have a job for management positions." Now, as a child, we don't know any better. I might have been 17, 18. I don't know. I don't know any better. But, I got wide eyes. So I'm looking for the best possible position I could find in the newspaper, right? As you would. So as I look for the newspaper, I see management position. Just show up, you know. The big thing was no experience needed. Again, 17. I should have known from back in the day, like y'all call scammers now. The young kids call them scammers now. Yeah, back in the day, we definitely had scammers, and I know y'all can relate to that. So get on the bus, take this long trip, get there, pull up to a place that is supposed to be some sort of conglomerate. You pull up, and it's a um, uh, garage style uh, building. It's on a major road, but nonetheless, it's a jazzed up garage, right? Remember, in my mind, I'm dressed with, how you had to get dressed for an interview back then. Boy, listen, the kids don't even know what we had to go through. So you had to get dressed up with this button up shirt, tie, and hard bottom shoes, right? And you get there and you pull up, and it's a garage. So your spidey senses already tingling, right? I know you've been through this before too. I ain't the only one that been through this. Spider senses tingling. You get there, you see people pull up like you, dressed to the T, like it's a sure enough bona fide interview. You get there, um, there's no real interview. They're they never told you what the product. So first of all, you pull up and guess what? You're definitely in sales, right? You never told you what the product is till you get there. You get there, you knock on the door, you get in. Yeah, you're next. You come on in, and they got a bag on the to the left of them, and you're trying to figure out what's in this bag. And I'm looking, and I'm there like, yeah, I'm there for the management position. Where's the management position? So the bag's on the left, full of perfumes or dumb stuff. I don't know what I think it was perfumes, whatever it was. Whatever it was, my introvert is going crazy in my head. I'm at that point now, before words have even spoken. I'm looking at this bag. I'm sitting in the chair, little rickety metal chair. The ones that, little fold up chairs. And I'm already looking for the door. But again, I'm trying to stick it out, trying to be responsible. Look, I want a job. I want to work. You pull up. The people get up. They say a couple words that I don't even remember what the words were. Next thing I know, they're walking you to the door. They put the bag on your shoulder, and it's like, good luck. Try to sell these no-name knockoff perfumes. And when you sell them, you come back with the money and yada yada. That was it. That was the orientation. Okay. Now that was the civilized part. Now, thank goodness, thank goodness. Yeah, that was the part that was their pitch. That's what they wanted to do. So as I walk out the door with this bag, um, and I'm looking around, I stop, I look left, I look right, and there's really no direction to sell this stuff or no direction. And it wasn't a common thing. Like there wasn't like nowadays. There's a lot of people that sell perfumes and stuff like that, but it wasn't common. So it was a unique thing, but it was nonetheless. I'm a street guy. I understand that's bootleg. That's not real Giorgio Armani I'm selling or nothing like that. So I look in the bag, and I'm going to tell y'all this. Y'all can fuss me out in the comments or whatever, but I grabbed the bag. I walked 2 steps. I looked left. I looked right. I thought about, is this something that I could do? And I walked to the corner, and on our corners we have bus stops and trash cans. So when I got to the corner, I chucked the bag in the trash can. I got back on the bus and I went home. Now, there's probably better ways I could have handled that, but I felt, first of all, like I said, anxiety was like, was, not anxiety, but just my spidey senses was at the top of its tingle, and I just knew that I felt the feeling that I felt at the time was like I had been hoodwinked, right? That I had been led astray. So, excuse me. So, with that being said, um, I didn't feel anything about chucking that stuff away. And I didn't feel anything about the loss that they felt at the time because I was deceived. And just like every person that was there was deceived. And I could have handled it differently, I guess. But again, I didn't like confrontation for one. And back then it wasn't like cell phones. It wasn't like they can call you and say, um, where are you? What happened? Whatever. They couldn't do any of that at the time. Uh, so it's really kind of funny now I think about it. But yeah, but I had been deceived, and it was. I don't think they understood um, how much it was a problem for a kid who didn't realize that they was an introvert, who was you know kind of really frightened at the thought of um, kind of frightened of the really of the thought of having to go on this interview. And I mean, it took a lot to go on an interview. It took a lot to get my mind right to go on an interview at a young age when I had no guidance. I didn't really have a mother that sat me down and said, um, "Hey, this is how you go on a job interview. This is how you present yourself. This is how you do it." My mother worked very hard. My mother was busy a lot. She worked triple, double shifts. So, these things I was navigating myself. I'm the middle child. I'm the oldest boy. My sister, her life was her life. She was too busy navigating her life, trying to make stuff happen for her, respectable. And yeah, I just wanted to get a couple of dollars and start doing something in this world. And for that to happen, I was discouraged. Even after that, I was discouraged when the next time I had to go search for a position or job or something like that. Um, yeah, it was discouraging, and it kind of set me back mentally for a little bit. Again, this is someone that doesn't understand. I understand my entire life that I was different. I communicated less than most, but I wasn't sure what an introvert was. But I know that right there did not help. Although I must say that it did help me. I, I have to, yes, I have to back that up. It helped me tremendously. It helped me understand and pay attention to things. It helped me pay attention to my intuition. It helped me. It helped. It evoked a feeling of. It evoked a feeling in me of. I'm not going to be taken advantage of, and there's going to be consequences if you take advantage of me as well. So I learned from that experience. Every experience you learn from. But yeah, it was freaking hilarious. Um, I'm dressed up. Here I am dressed up to the T with these flat bottom shoes on. And they expected us to walk the streets of Philadelphia with no, just an area that you, just a particular area. Hey, you got these 10 blocks or so, and you're just going to walk up to people and try to sell cologne. Somebody who's never sold anything in their life, nobody who's never had a sell position. You got no training on how to sell. You have no script. You had anything. And yeah, and it wasn't, again, that's not a black eye on all businesses at the time. That's just what was some of the nonsense that was in the newspaper. And for somebody like me who couldn't navigate it, I didn't know what was nonsense and wasn't what wasn't. I just wanted the best. If they say, "Hey, management position," I'm like, "Sure, I want to be a man. I'd rather be a manager. Who wouldn't want to be a manager as opposed to a lower echelon employee?" So of course I'm gonna go for that. Oh, look at the money. The money is more than all the other jobs that I'm seeing. I'm seeing $17 an hour when all the other jobs is $5.75. Of course, I'm going to go for the best. I see myself as going for the best situation that I can put myself in. But yeah, I was, when I got there, I was, I was crushed. That was my first, uh, first time I was actually deceived in a situation like that. But I handled it how I felt like I should handle it. I slept well that night. They just gonna have to chuck that stuff about the trash. That's all they had to do. It was hilarious, y'all. Later.